Hey guys, it's Corpse here again. We're back again with another video. Today we're gonna go over some heroes. I got requests from someone. They wanted to go over Huy Yun, Ulfuria, Arnaud, Fangrim, and Morwenna. So we're just kind of go over those heroes and how to gear them from beginner up to high-end gear. So we'll go through this. We'll start with Huy Yun first up. Huy Yun's a little different than most other nukers, and the fact that he scales really well off just attack. So his ultimate is just damage. He does crazy damage. So the first cast is 650% attack power. Second is 410, and then the third one is the juicy one. You get that one, and he does AoE on the whole battlefield. So the whole point of Huy Yun is to stay alive as long as possible and just keep getting energy. And then the longer he holds these shields, he also self buffs attack power. So he's just gonna become a menace if you don't kill him. So with that in mind, what you want to go for is attack power. This is one of the heroes where you can actually ignore crit chance and crit damage, in my opinion, because he scales so well with attack power. It's kind of overkill to have crit chance and crit damage, because I don't know if you guys know, but the ultimates can crit. So any damaging passive ability and ultimates, they can also crit. So yeah, if you put crit chance, crit damage, he's gonna do a lot of damage. But honestly, if you just want to make it easier on yourself, I would just go straight attack power. And then you do want to have him very tanky, because you want him to stay alive and keep spamming those shields. So you want high health, high armor, have magic resistance, and then energy. So you do want a lot of energy regen, energy on hit. I think energy regen might be even a little better, because sometimes he might get stunned, and you do want him to keep getting energy. Energy on hit is very good as well too, though. Attack speed is whatever. It's nice, but not a priority. You don't want to spread yourself too thin. Energy regen, don't need that shit. So right off the bat, when you start the game, you're gonna want to you're gonna start with something like this. You know, you're gonna want to get 3 energy regen here. You want to get attack, 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 and the energy on hit. So those are the roles you want. Ideally, I mean, you don't really have to spend too much time on here. Eventually, you're gonna move up to something higher. So you probably, after that one's gonna be good for a while. Here you could do something like this: energy regen, energy on hit, but it's the same concept. Just attack, 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 energy on hit, energy regen. Eventually you move up here to one of these. And so depending on where you are, once you unlock the what's this called, the awakening. Yeah, so awakening, if you're at the beginning, once you awaken that, so you can get depending, if you're finding yourself low on energy, you can try to go for energy on hit 2, energy on hit 5, attack, attack, and like energy regen, energy on hit. Or like you could do attack, 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 energy regen. Depending on what you roll, honestly, you don't really want to get stuck too much here and waste too much resources on here. But you do want to be running these dungeons every day, because you're gonna, especially if you're free to play, like you're gonna find some good stuff here. Eventually you move up here, and then you could get like 3 energy on hit, 6 energy on hit, attack, attack, energy regen. Yeah, so here it's pretty straightforward. You want to get 3 attack power rolls, and then 1 energy regen. I wouldn't worry about attack speed, crit chance, crit damage. If you get one of those, like whatever, I wouldn't worry too much. But that's you want to shoot for energy regen, definitely, and then as much attack as possible. You could even go attack power up here, but energy on hit is probably more important. Eventually you move up to, was I doing this? Oh my god, it was same concept. Yeah, god, I'm an idiot. It's these. Well, same concept. You want to get attack, energy regen, energy on hit, you know, depending on what you roll. But ideally it would be something like energy on hit, 6 energy on hit, attack power percentage, attack power, flat attack, and then energy on hit, and then 5 energy on hit. That's ideally what you want. I mean, you're never gonna get what you want, though. It's always gonna be some terrible roll in there. But yeah, it's whenever you go up, it's just gonna be the same stats. They're just gonna be higher. So you're gonna be looking for the same thing. So eventually you reach up here, and then you're gonna be looking for the same things. It's just higher. And then eventually you would get to the advanced crafting, and this is where the fun really begins, in my opinion, because now you get some real high numbers. So here, I think on Huy Yun, Attack power might be more valuable here just because he scales insanely. But if you're finding that you need him to do more ultimates more often, you could do 4 energy regen here, and then you would do like attack power, attack speed, energy on hit. But I mean, you can also do like attack power, attack speed, energy on hit. Avoid crit chance, crit damage if you can. But yeah, this is where the fun begins. This is where the good stuff happens. Defensive gear is very straightforward. You start with something like this. So you want to get magic resistance, health, armor, and like magic resistance. Do not auto equip. The game is gonna give you a bunch of magic resistance, 0 health. I mean 0 armor. It's just gonna be terrible. You're gonna end up with like 89 magic resistance and like 20 armor. It's terrible. You're gonna die to everything. So do not auto equip. Always make sure you craft your stuff and see where you're missing on your hero. Like for example, if you roll one of these, you got magic resistance, health, and then double magic resistance, so you got a ton of magic resistance here. Then when you go here to this one, then you don't want to like try to get more magic resistance here. You want to try to get health, armor, whenever you can. So if you're like here, oh damn, there's not a lot of armor for nukers, but yeah, you want to try to keep it even, because the game is going to give you magic resistance. But yeah, same thing. As the higher you go on these, you're just going to get higher stats, but you're going to be looking for the same thing: health, armor, magic resistance. You want to try to get even here. Same thing with the boots, completely same thing, just health. There's some that have like dodge. I wouldn't worry about dodge. I wouldn't craft the ones with dodge or health regen, to be honest. Health is what you want to go for. And yeah, up here on the awakening stats, I would go for armor and magic resistance on him. They're pretty important because he has shields on shields on shields. So the armor and magic resistance are going to make it harder for the enemies to kill them. Eventually you will get to at the beginning of the game, you would start with something like this, right? And you just want to get attack power, and like energy regen, energy on hit. Something like that would work. I wouldn't spend too much time on these, to be honest. And honestly, yeah, like the platinum you're going to use here, I would rather use that on these for the supports. Eventually I'll get to Fangrim and we can talk about this, but yeah, I would use all my platinum on these for the supports or anybody that needs a lot of energy. But yeah, you start with something like this. You try to get attack power, energy regen, energy on hit. Eventually you reach something like this, same thing, energy regen. You want attack, energy on hit, and maybe like health would be nice there. But ultimately you just want the same thing, just attack power. So you'd go something like this. You end up mid game would be something here. You'd want like energy regen here, attack, energy regen, and like energy on hit would be nice there. You could also like get away with some health. So like energy, health, attack, energy, and then like energy on hit. That would also be fine. Eventually you get to the top one, which is this one. If you feel like you need him to, if he's dying too fast, you can even get away with health here. You could craft a health one, and you want to get health, like attack, energy regen, energy on hit. Avoid health regeneration, crit damage, crit chance, attack speed if you can. Of course, you're going to get shitty rolls that are not going to go your way, so just keep that in mind. And then, but this is probably the better one because attack power just scales so well with Huy Yun. So you want to get armor, magic resistance, depending on what you're lacking up there. And then like attack power, attack, energy, and energy on hit. That would be perfect. Until you get up here. Then you can get a scholars from the advanced. And yeah, you want to get just health, armor. And that's going to apply to basically all heroes here. And this is all free to play, by the way. These are things you can get free to play once you get the forest level high enough, because you can just get these materials by hitting level 30 camps. So these are all you can get. So these are nice. You can get good rolls here for health, armor. And then the same thing applies to these. You'd go for these. Now here you can actually get energy regen, which is really nice. So you could get 4 energy regen, like health, and like magic resistance. That would be real nice. If you get health up top, that's, you know, it's alright too. It's gonna make him a bit tankier, but I prefer energy regen because he does get shields every time he does his ultimate. So yeah, these are absolute trash. I don't know what the hell they were thinking when they made these. Absolute terrible, all of these. Even late game, like these are the top of the top you can craft, and they're terrible. They're just like all over the place. Like I end up with health, energy when hit, crit damage, attack speed. What am I supposed to do with that? Terrible. I wouldn't bother. These are not worth the materials. Ignore those. Stick to the awakening craft for all dependents. These are really nice if you got the materials. For the free-to-play people, it's going to be really hard to get these. If you bought some packs, some of the packs contain some of them. So, you know, these are really nice because you can kind of get a bunch of attack. You can get attack, and like energy on hit, and like attack speed or crit chance, whatever. But yeah, these are really high rolls you can get here. So these are really nice, but not free-to-play friendly, to be honest. So it's tough. These are kind of trash, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very disappointed in these. These are the Forge 34 and 35 rings. Trash. Really disappointed. I don't know what the heck they were thinking when they put these in the game. Terrible. For the boots, so you'd want to get these. These are also, like I said, not free to play friendly. This material is gonna be really hard to get. But if you do get one, you want to go for armor, magic resistance. You want to get health percentage. Energy regen's pretty good here. If you got lucky and you got some of these from the shop, these are really strong. They have energy regen, armor, magic resistance, health, and dodge. So if you have those are going to go pretty well on basically almost all the heroes. I bought a bunch of them. I'm a whale. So that's kind of Huy Yun. That's the rundown on Huy Yun. He's just, you know, he's strong. Kind of tough to make work with the current meta because too much Fangrim, Ezra, debuffing your team. It does, like, he needs time to get going, but if he does, he's going to do crazy stuff. So, yeah, he's an alright hero. And then we got Ulfuria. So Ulfuria next is actually pretty similar in the way you build Huy Yun. I would also skip crit chance, crit damage, just because this ultimate is really broken. It's only 100% attack power, so it doesn't look like much, but it ignores 80% of the enemy's magic assistance. And as she falls lower on health, she gets more attack power, and it goes crazy. Like if she's lower health, she's just gonna one shot heroes like nothing, and she doesn't die. So I mean, yeah. So same thing, I would just focus on attack power. Crit chance, crit damage just feels like it's overkill. So same thing as Huy Yun, actually. High health, high armor, high magic resistance. You don't want it to just drop immediately, because if she drops too fast, then she's just not going to be alive enough to like use as many ultimates as you can. So you do want to have high energy on hit, high energy regen, and the same thing basically as Huy Yun. It's that same way. I would build it the exact same way. Maybe on Huy Yun is more I would prioritize more armor and magic resistance because he gets shields. So the resistance is gonna make it harder for those shields to come off than Ulfuria, you know. So yeah, I almost feel like I don't have to go over Ulfuria, but this is the same stuff. And you start off with something like this, the bruiser. Where's the bruiser? You start off here, you just get attack power, like energy on hit, attack speed, or you can, if you get double energy on hit, it'd be really nice. And then you move up, same thing. You just want to keep looking for those stats, you know, depending on what you need. Honestly, it's the whole gear game is just it's all about balance, because sometimes you're gonna get certain gear that has a lot of one thing, like a lot of attack power. Then like the next year you craft, or like now your necklace, you should focus on like energy regen, or you know, it depends on what you need, honestly. So it's just a lot of crafting over and over and over, and eventually you will get to these, and then here you could get energy regen, attack power, depending on what you want. I tend to like energy regen, and then like just get attack power, energy on hit, and like attack speed. But yeah, if you feel like you need more attack power, especially like if you want it to be like a Sigurd draw-in or whatever, because you want Sigurd to jump on her at the beginning, then you can just focus more attack power. These are the same thing. You just want to get health, 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 armor, and that's gonna be for applied to these. Like these, you're gonna want to get health, health, armor, magic resistance. You want to get pretty even on these, but the most important thing is that you have health percentage and flat health. You want to have both of those on all your gear, because the flat health is just flat health, and the percentage scales off your hero's health. So the higher the level of the hero, the more the health percentage is gonna be worth. So earlier on in the game, the flat health without the percentage is gonna be more valuable than the percentage, because the percentage is gonna be lower because your hero's health is naturally pretty low because it's low level, right? I hope that makes sense. Man, same thing applies to boots. So what I said about Huy Yun, basically the same thing applies to Ulfuria. So I'm not going over the same because this video is going to be too long if I do. So next up, he wanted me to talk about Arnaud. So Arnaud, that's very strong hero, OP. For this guy specifically, he scales really well off of health, like max health. His ultimate does 40% of Arnaud's max health. As you can see, mine has 491,000 health. So he's going to do 45% of that. That's a lot of damage. He can do some crazy damage. And then everything else just kind of gives him sustain and whatever. Oh, this is strong too. He makes vampires lose 30% regen. Awesome. So on a hero like this, and applies to most tanks in particular, you want high attack power, health, armor, and magic resistance. Because you want him attack power, because not because really they do much with attack power, is mainly so that the enemy Sigurds jump on your tanks, because you want Sigurd on your tank rather than your damage dealers. And then across all tanks, focus energy regeneration, ignore energy on hit. As you can see, the tanks have awful attack speed. They all attack really slow. So energy on hit's gonna have like 0 value on tanks because they just attack so slow. So energy regen is perfect because energy regeneration keeps going even if they're stunned. So like Magla stuns them, Sigurd stuns them, they're still gonna keep getting energy. So you want high energy regen. Armor magic resistance, obviously, because you want them to live. Attack speed, I wouldn't worry about that. Useless stat on them. Crit chance, crit damage, useless stat on them. So they're pretty easy to build, to be honest. Just attack power, health, armor magic resistance, energy regeneration. That's pretty much all tanks. So if you bought this from the shop, this makes your life easy. This is everything all tanks need. Like if you have these, it's easy. If you don't have these, a little tough. They're gonna be a little tougher to build, to be honest with you. So you're gonna start with, you know, something early game. You're gonna start one of these early games. You just want to get attack power. Try to get attack power. Attacks. Nah, I would go. Assuming you can get double energy on hit, you can get 8. I mean, these are not great for tanks right now. This is kind of you can get what you get what you get, right? But yeah, I mean, you move up to these, they're not much better. Just attack power, energy on hit, not great. For these, I think there's one with health here. Oh, energy regen. This could work. So I would go 3 energy regen here, attack power, and like try to get energy on hit if you can. But I mean, energy on hit is not great either. Let's see. You move up. Yeah, you want to try to get energy on hit. Like this would be something you craft if you have the materials. So you would go attack. You try to get health here, energy regen, energy on hit, and like attack or dodge would be fine. Like I said, it's kind of tough to get gear for the tanks, especially early on, because like, yeah, these are not great options, to be honest with you. These isn't too bad. You could get attack speed, you could get health, attack power, energy regen, energy on hit. That would be fine. But yeah, I mean, the stuff, it gets a little better here. This is where it gets better. So you want to try to get to like this. You know, you could get energy regen here. You get armor, health, attack power, energy regen. And like you could get like double attack power and then energy regen. And then something else. Energy on hits is fine, honestly, but it's just not as important as energy regen. That's really what you want here. Ideally, you want health, attack, energy regen, and like dodge. That would be a good try to avoid health regeneration. Health regeneration is absolutely useless. Up here, you do one health energy regen. That's kind of the number one priority. Dodge is fine, but energy regen is the best for sure. Then you move up to something like this, and you get energy regen, health, attack, energy regen. Then you start to get better tank. Then it starts to get. This is where it starts to get good. So again, run these dungeons as soon as you can every single day, because you're gonna need a lot of these, especially if you're free to play, which I guess we all are because there's no more shop. Eventually, you would get to these, and these you want just attack power up here. You want health, 4 energy on hit, health, attack power, and like attack power. This is like the free to play version of this, right? You get to skip the crit damage, which is nice, but you get health, attack power, energy regen. That's kind of the important takeaway there. So for tanks, this is going to be your bread and butter here. You just want to craft the health ones. These, yep. You want to craft health, attack, again, attack, health, energy regen. For the rings, you can start here. Armor, energy regen. That would be fine. Don't worry too much about attack power unless, Sigurd's cooking your team and, maybe you need some attack power. You could do like attack power here, and then like energy on hit would be fine, I guess. And then you want health, attack power, energy regen, or like health, attack power, energy regen, depending on what you need. Like if he needs more attacks so that the Sigurd jumps on him, then you could try to get double, triple attack power and like energy regen. Depends where you're at in the game, right? Or what you need. Eventually you would get up here, and then you would go the same thing, just health, attack power, health, attack power, energy regen, something like that. Boots, pretty easy, just health, armor, magic resistance across all the way here. You just want to try to get both. Like, don't go 80 armor and like 20 magic resistance. That's terrible. You're going to get one shot by an ultimate. And don't do 80 armor or 80 magic resist and 20 armor. You're just gonna get dropped by a basic attack. So yeah, try to keep a balance, and always have health, flat health, and flat health percentage anywhere you can. Eventually, you will reach these for the tanks. Here, just energy regen if you can. That's very important. Energy regen, attack power, attack speed, energy on hit. That's what you want to go for. Eventually, you reach these. These are crazy, but these is not free to play friendly. But if you can craft these, then you can get energy regen here, attack power, energy regen, attack power, attack speed, yeah, something like that. When you get to these, this is when your tanks start to become real tanky, because you can get health, armor, and you get like 19 armor or whatever. So you can get a lot of health from these for your tanks. Same thing here. I would actually go for energy regen. I think energy regeneration is more valuable, especially for Arnaud, that he heals off his ultimate. So yeah, you do want high energy regen. So I would go 4 energy regen, health, magic resistance. Just try to get as much as you can of that. Avoid health regen. Energy when hit's not great either. I would avoid that if you can. And these are terrible. Waste of time and materials. Don't bother with these. Actually, they might be terrible for tanks, because they do have health, energy regen, magic resistance. So you could potentially get some good stuff here. I just do not like these. If anything, they could be good for tanks. That's it. But I mean, you're gonna waste 26 of these materials, which are really hard to come by, on like potentially something decent. Like you might end up with crit chance, crit damage, energy when hit, and like attack power. Then like, who's gonna use that? Nobody's gonna use that gear. So I wouldn't waste my valuable gear on this. Same thing here. Tanks don't really use these. These are for damage dealers, and these are not great either, to be honest. I mean, if you really want to, you could do like attack power, health, attack power, energy, and then like attack speed. But again, I wouldn't waste 45 of these on a ring that might be something usable. It's just not worth it. Here, these are pretty good for tanks, as you can get energy regen, health, and like magic resistance armor up there for primary stat. So you can get some really strong resistances here. Like some of my I think I have one of these. Well, some of this is one of the higher ones, but like you get something like this. This is 45 armor just on this. Unfortunately, that's health regeneration. If this was uh energy regeneration or health percentage, that would be perfect. But unfortunately, you just can't have everything you like. But you can get some crazy stuff on here from these. Like this is good. You can get like he has 50 armor, 14 magic resistance, and then 4 energy regeneration. You can get some crazy stuff from those, and it doesn't really take that much materials. So you can potentially get that, and that's one of the first things you can craft. I think it's level 30 you can craft these. So yeah, that's something. That's something you can think about. Okay, this is taking forever. All right, Fangrim. Fangrim. Everybody loves their Fangrim. So Fangrim, focus on getting him to 6 stars right off the bat. Do not level anything until he's 6 star because you want this skill. You want the max this skill. This is the most important thing on him. Whenever he traps them, they get 50% attack speed debuff and lose 10 energy. That's really huge. Really debuffs the whole team. Supports are very easy to build, especially ones that you just want ultimates. So like Fangrim, who else is there? Fangrim, Ezreal, Nicole, Alternate. You do want attack power. That's kind of different. Voss, you just energy tankiness. Wolfgang he also needs attack power, but he kind of has a lot of attack power and he gets it from other wolves as well. So yeah, Alfred, don't care about attack power. The same thing, just high health, armor, magic resistance, high energy. But yeah, so don't worry about attack power. Attack speed is nice. You do want attack speed. Crit chance, crit damage, don't matter. Health, armor, magic resistance is important, and then as much energy as possible. So for support, fairly easy to get energy, actually. I've seen too many people with trash support heroes that have no energy. It's so easy. All right, so as soon as you unlock this, it's 71 on the forge, the regular forge. You can get 4 energy on hit and then like up to 6 energy regen. Now this is really hard to get double rolls on these. I've crafted thousands of these and I've gotten just a few. But potentially you can get 4 and 6. Now I would go for 4 and 3. Like if you can get 4 and 3, that's good enough because it's too rare to get the other one. So you start off with this. That's already a lot of energy right there. Eventually you would go up and unlock these. And then you get 5 energy here and like 6 energy regen. And if you get 6 energy regen, I hate you and you're lucky. But try to go for 5 and 3. And honestly, you can rock these until the end game. Eventually, if you get lucky, you could like, move up here and you could get something like, let's see. I think it was a 95. I'm tripping. Yeah, here. Like if you randomly craft one of these, which I wouldn't recommend because the primary stat is crit damage, so I wouldn't recommend that for supports. But you could get like 6 energy regen and like 8 energy on hit if you get lucky. I think you can do that here too, actually. But I wouldn't waste my platinum on these. I think the chance is just too low to do that. Like if you were to craft this, not this. Like if you were to craft these, you could potentially get 6 energy regen and 7 energy on hit, but you have to get lucky enough to get those rolls, and they have to be max rolls too. So I wouldn't waste my platinum on this specifically for supports. I would use all my platinum on this because you can get 5 and then 3. If you get 5 and 3, you're set for a while from supports. I still use those, and my Fangrim is level 180. What is it? Yeah, 180, and I still use it. Yeah. And then same thing for the ring. You can start at 74. As early as 74, you can get crazy energy. Like, if I start a new account, I just drop this and I can get more energy than most Fangrims out there. You can get 4 and 3. 4 and 3, if you get more than 3, then you're lucky, Eventually, you can move up to, like, I would move up here, actually, after that. And, like, go for, like, crit chance or something like this. You could craft some of these and try to get like, double energy hits or like double energy regen, whatever you can. Just you can look around and see what you can get. If you go higher, it doesn't really get better for supports, to be honest. That's why I'm saying like you can rock the early game ones for a while, because like you can get 4 energy regen and 5, and that's max. You can get that from that other necklace I was telling you about, you know, like, and that's you don't have to spend all the resources trying to get that. So these are not really that important for support. And the boots, just, you know, health, magic resistance, armor, same thing as every other hero. For the weapon, you start out like here. Where is it? You start out like here. You want to get 5 energy on hit, energy regen, energy on hit, energy regen. The rest doesn't really matter. Attack power is ideal, but attack speed too you do want. So you want energy on hit, energy regeneration, attack speed, and whatever else doesn't really matter too much. I wouldn't spend too much time on this one. Eventually you're gonna move up to one of these, and it's the same thing, just more stats. And then you move up here. Now these is where it starts to get a little better, because you can get like 3 energy on hit, 6 energy on hit, and like 3 energy regen, like attack speed. That would be perfect. Then they start having a lot more energy, and you start using ultimates a lot faster, and your teams get better. You know, this is not much of an improvement here. Honestly, I would craft these more. Yeah, the energy is still the same, so I would craft these for less materials when it's not much of an upgrade. So I would focus on the 110 ones. Eventually you get these, and same thing, not much of an upgrade. It's still the same energy, so hey, this makes it easier on you. Focus on these. Just craft these. And then eventually you will get to the advance, and then you start crafting these. These are, as soon as you unlock it, you can craft these, which is nice for your supports. Obviously, energy regeneration 4, energy and hit 6. The rest doesn't really matter too much. Attack speed's nice, attack power, whatever. Yep. And then eventually you will get to this, and this is where stuff goes crazy. Like look at this. Who has it? Oh boy, I changed it. Who did I put it on? Ezreal? No. I put a crazy gear on somebody. Oh, I put it on Wolfgang. Like, look at this. 4 energy on hit, 4 energy regeneration, and 13 on hit. Like, that's crazy. He's just gonna be spamming ultimate, so that's real nice. Yeah, I mean, but that's end level stuff. That's Forge 34, you know, and it takes a lot of material, so it's not really free to play friendly. So yeah, you're gonna be on these for a while. These trash, do not use those. This, you could potentially get away with some energy on hit. I wouldn't really use these for supports though. That's what I'm saying. You want to stick, honestly, you can stick with those, with the early game ones. These are going to be your bread and butter for supports. So accessible for anybody, early game or not. You can just craft a bunch of these until you get lucky. At least 4 and 3, and you're set. Pretty straightforward, Fangrim. And last one is Morwenna. More Morwenna stuff. Man, you guys really want this hero, huh? So Morwenna is, so you could do a couple builds. I choose to build it like a bruiser, so I do high attack. I actually ignore crit chance, crit damage. I don't really care too much about that, just because her multiplier here is so big. 520% of her attack power is a lot, so I mean, yeah, you could do more damage if you focus on crit damage, but then you'd be sacrificing some health and armor, magic resistance. I'd rather keep that higher than have high crit chance. So I kind of build it like I would Huy Yun and Ulfuria, just high attack, high health, armor, magic resistance, and energy on hit. Do not build energy regen and attack speed like I said earlier. So on something like her, I would, unfortunately, a lot of the early game assassin gear contains attack speed for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I mean, you start off with something like this. You'd want attack speed, then you want attack power, and like if you can get double energy hit, that would be awesome. If not, whatever, just attack power, energy on hit would work too, like 4, you know. And then you'd move up to something like this up here. And here you'd want to get like attack power, energy on hit probably better, and then attack speed, attack power, and like double energy on hit or 1 energy on hit, whatever you can get. Don't Don't go too crazy. Eventually, you'd get up here. Same thing, just higher stats. I mean, you get 10 energy on hit would be huge, but you have to get really lucky. Keep buying those dungeons and forging. Maybe you get some luck. Same thing up here, just higher stats. For these, same thing as the other ones. Just health, armor, magic resistance. Keep a balance. Try to get them as high as possible. Always have health percentage, flat health anywhere you can. And like I said earlier, just see what you need. Like if you got one of these with a bunch of armor, then the next one you craft, try to focus magic resistance more than armor. Just try to, try to fill in the holes anywhere you can. Yeah, these, same thing. Just, you start with, here I would actually, yeah, low-key I'll start with armor here rather than attack speed. What's the early one you can get? Not crit damage. I would do, yeah, so you start with like this at the beginning when you unlock this forge. You here I would try to get armor on the awakening stats, or even health is fine. So I would get armor and then like magic resistance. And oh, this is terrible. Hold up. No, not these. What the? Okay, these are kind of bad, not gonna lie. I mean, I guess you could start with these. I would honestly skip these two. Because, I mean, crit damage is kind of useless unless you're getting a bunch of crit. I mean, if you're going for crit, then hey, why the heck not? So you could do attack power, crit damage, attack, crit chance, and like energy on hit. That would be fine. But I think it'll be better whenever you move up to the 110 ones. So you could do attack speed or armor. Both would work. I would go for armor rather than attack speed. So you could do like energy regen, armor, attack, energy on hit, and like health or crit chance, depending on what build you're going for, honestly. Attack speed is fine too. You can do attack speed, but same thing applies. But armor is just going to be more consistent because you already attack super fast, not needed. Here, crit chance could be good. So here you have crit chance or energy on regen. Energy regen, I would go crit chance here. So you could go energy regen, crit chance, health, attack, health, attack, and energy on hit. That would be perfect. Like you want to try to get that in an ideal world. Avoid health regen, trash stat, useless. Crit chance, you can go here depending on the build you're going for. If you're going for crit chance, then just don't go health. Go attack, crit chance, attack, energy on hit, something like that, depending what you're going for. Here it depends here what you want. Like if you find it that she's dying real fast, not living enough, you can go for like a health one here. You could do like attack, power, crit chance, whatever you're going for, and then like health, attack, and then energy on hit. That would be nice. You could do that, or you could do attack power. I think attack power is probably better. I don't know, depends. Health is pretty useful on her. And then you could do like same thing here, just attack power. You could do armor, magic systems, depending on what you're missing the most of, and then like health, attack, and then like energy on hit. So this once you get these is whenever your hero's gonna start shining a little bit here. You're gonna get more stats. Boosts are easy, just health, armor, magic resistance, flat percentage, health percentage flat always. Remember that, and then armor, magic resistance, pretty straightforward. Eventually you will get up here, and this is where the juicy starts. This is where it gets real good. Like this is Forge 32, if I remember correctly. You unlock these two. This is where your Rangers and your Assassins start going crazy. So in here, you would want attack power, crit chance, and as much energy on hit as possible. This is where it gets real good. And energy regeneration, avoid. You don't really want that. You just want attack power, crit chance, energy on hit, honestly. And you get here. Health, armor, same as the other ones. Avoid health regen, energy on hit, don't need that. Oh man, I'm giving away all my secrets up in here. This is everybody can think of this, honestly. And then we got health, avoid energy regen. Morwenna does not need energy regen. Health, magic resistance, same thing. Absolute dog shit. Do not get these. Still mad about these. Here, this would be really good for Morwenna because you can supplement anything you don't need. But they're not free to play friendly, so hey. yeah, you get attack power. Like if you're lacking crit chance, you could get double crit, triple crit here. Depends on you can get a lot of stuff from here. So this is a good filler. But I mean, if you're free to play, then you're gonna want to stick to these one of these health or attack power, depending on what you're looking for, what you're needing more. And then if you can get the boots here, this is Force 31, I think, or 30. Yeah, 31, I think. I'm pretty sure it's 31. Force 31, you unlock these. You could get health, armor, magic resistance here. Like, I would go straight stats. That's what I got. Like, as you can see here, I got armor, magic resistance, dodge, armor, health. Just anything to keep her alive. And with that, I have, like, almost max armor. I have over magic resistance just because of the land buffs. But, yeah. Like, that's kind of it for this girl. But yeah, I hope you guys find that helpful. I got requested those heroes, and I thought I'd kind of walk through some of the gear and what I think about when I'm crafting that stuff. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. I'll probably do bruiser class next. There's a lot of fun stuff here. But yeah, peace out.